Cracking, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. New video. So I was scrolling through YouTube right now, and I saw a video. By Hector Bravo, the Prison Guard channel. Go ahead and check out the Prison Guard channel. Specifically, check out the video called, I think it's I'm Getting Divorced. I'll put a link. I think it's going to be on the corner right here. I got to remember not to forget. Imagine that. And someone had told me, go check that video, man. Check out that video, man. It's really touching. And Hector is announcing, or he's about to announce, that he's getting divorced. And he's already emotional. And then the door to his office opens up and his daughter comes in. And his daughter comes in and sits on his lap, and she starts telling a story about what she loves about first grade. She's about to be 6 years old, and what she loves about first grade. As she's telling this, she's telling us the reasons why she loves first grade, Hector's crying. I assume it's because he's wondering, well, he's hurting from the divorce, the fact that, the relationship didn't work out. But he's also probably wondering, I'm assuming, how many moments like this am I ever going to have again? Because I'm sure the daughter's going to stay with the mom. And so she's not going to have that opportunity to just knock on the door and just go in and sit with dad and talk about first grade. Talk about whatever is on her young mind. That young, innocent mind at that age. And then I started thinking about myself. Selfish me. And as Hector was crying, I said, I don't have a problem with that. And I hope other people don't. It's okay for men to cry when men are hurting. It's okay for anyone to cry if you're hurting. It's when you cry for attention or to manipulate. That's when it's not okay. Those of you that know my story know my daughter's mom was 8 weeks pregnant when I got arrested for murder and went away for 24 years and 2 weeks. And I never talked about it, but, Hector, seeing that video today, I said, you know what, maybe I should talk about it. Certain things. I remember crying in the county jail. I was supposed to be a badass dude, a gang member, a gangster. And I remember crying at times, more than once, in my cell, at night, all alone, by myself, wishing that I could be out there and become a father. How selfish of me, though, right? I'm sitting there feeling sorry for myself after killing someone and stopping him from going home to his wife and son. But I did. I knew that the person I was, that 19-year-old person, was a killer. That 19-year-old self, I knew, those selfish tears that I was crying, I knew I was never going to get out. There was nothing anybody could tell me to make me think otherwise, because I knew how I was. I started my own clique in my neighborhood at 13. I was a so-called shot caller in YA. I was a voice in my neighborhood, one of the main dudes in my neighborhood. I was never, at a time in my life, someone who was one of those, let me follow that guy type. Nah. It was, why are vatos listening to that vato? Let me find out what he's got going on, and I'm going to do it better. So I was in jail fighting this case, and I had I had the death penalty or life without against me for the first 9 months until I beat it on a 995 motion. And I had in my mind, I'm getting the death penalty or LWAP. I don't get breaks. Dudes from my neighborhood are snitching on me. The people I was shooting at are telling on me. Not me, but they're testifying to what happened. This case is a slam dunk. They got me. And I'm going to do the best I can do in prison at what gets done in prison. And so that's what I did. I cried those few times in jail. I felt sorry for myself. Imagine that. Like all gang members that are caught up in their criminality, it was the judge's fault, the cop's fault, my victim's fault, the jury's fault, the community's fault. It was everybody's fault. It didn't matter that I killed somebody and made the cops arrest me, that I made the DA have to put on that case, that I made the judge have to sit on my trial, that I made the jury have to listen to that shit. No, see, gang members don't see that. The victim mentality is deep when you're a gangster. Take that back. Not when you're a gangster, when you're a gang member. Gangsters don't give a fuck. When you're a gang member, it's everybody's fault, man. It's your parents' fault. It's your siblings' fault. Your tia and tias, the neighbors, the neighborhood's fault. The mayor, the president. Shit, it's probably a couple countries' fault, too. Who knows? Gang members have a way of finding ways to make themselves the victim and then will be pissed off when you call them that. They will kill you for calling them a victim or try to. But there I was, content, about 90% content with what was in store for me. Before I even left the county, there was no more feeling sorry for myself. It was, this is me for life. I'm going to make it as comfortable as I can for myself, and I don't care how uncomfortable that is for others. Self-preservation. That's what prison is. I've told the stories about when people, when they ask me how much time I did, and I tell them, and they're like, fuck, I couldn't survive prison. I'm like, you'd be surprised. They got a place for everybody, but you'd be surprised. I'm very proud of that. In those decades in prison that I served, as often as I could, I wrote my daughter. As often as I could, I called my daughter when I wasn't in the oil. I did what I could as a dad or as a father to try to help show my daughter you don't ever want to be with a gang member, and she hasn't. You don't ever want to depend on a man, and she doesn't. Having been gone for 24 years of my daughter's life, I have a great relationship with my daughter, and I think that says a lot about her and who raised her. And for that, I thank you guys. I know some of you might watch this, most may not, but I'm thanking you in front of everybody. Thank you for doing a great job with my daughter, and thank you to my daughter for figuring out a way to love me. Prison is full of fathers, and not every father is fortunate enough to figure out that they're the problem and then work on that problem, try to solve it, and then get back out here. You know, I hear a lot of these dudes running their mouths about how you cannot leave from a level 4, whether it's SNY or active, that you cannot parole from a level 4 or not. And for you, I'm telling you, shut your mouth and stop making content about shit you don't know nothing about. You are killing people's dreams. There are lifers who are on both active and SNY yards that are going home. But their families hear you on the build up to them trying to get out, and they go to these prison channels and they want to hear what they have to say. And those of you that weren't lifers speak on shit like that, and it's a fucking disservice and it's disrespectful. Anyone behind those walls, when they figure out who the problem is and what the problem is, and they work on that, they have an opportunity. It's not solidified. It's not sure. But it is an opportunity. Before, we didn't have shit. This video is going to be all over the place because it's a freestyle of seeing that man cry and seeing the innocence of his child. And knowing that there are a lot of young men in the counties right now just entering the CDC, and old men that have been there for decades that wish they could have raised their children. I don't care who's in contact with who. I don't care who they are and what they're a part of. They would love to be out here with us. They do what they got to do. And they live by the laws of the society they have chosen. I get it. But I'll say a prayer for you. Because I know a lot of you can't pray for yourselves. You can't bring yourself to it. So I'll say a prayer for you and your family. I know a lot of you guys don't even like me. It's a trip, though, because I know everybody that I did things with, that I broke bread with. Not one of them can, and I don't think ever would, say anything about me. For the rest, I can't worry about it. I'm out here trying to help your kids. And I know 24 years and 2 weeks in the CDC, over 3 years in the California Youth Authority. The system is not the same anymore. I went in, and I remember when camaradas had value, and I watched it deteriorate. I remember it took a little something to have somebody hit. Now it's nothing. The world, no matter what world it is upside down, man. Wherever you are in life, wherever you find yourself, I wish you well, and I hope you can figure out how to make it better. No matter where you are, prison, a trap house, dope house, or in your apartment. Life is what you make of it. I don't like excuses, eh? Anyone making excuses is going to get nowhere in life, eh? If you want something, get your ass up and go and get it. Anybody that tells you that you can't, they can't. You can do whatever the fuck you want. The only limitations are your expectations, period. If you believe you can do something, get your ass out there and do it. Those of you that have kids and you're not in their lives, you should really think about that. Those of you struggling with an addiction, I don't care what it is. I hope you find that something that's more important than you. That's more important than whatever your addiction is. And then that will set you on the right path. There's people that think they've burned every bridge. Nah, you just burned the ones you came across. You still got more to build, man. I don't want to keep rambling and going in circles, man. But I know these are the videos right here. They get to who needs them. And I appreciate you watching, man. And I wish you well on your journey. Watch this as many times as you need to. And then make your own. And be that example for somebody else. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.